So, Stephen D here from Pure 24/7 Radio, and today I am joined by Mac and Laura from Our Atlantic Roots. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
And
good to
you're
see
doing well,
you.
I hope.
We're doing very well, thank you.
Yeah,
Very well. We have
yeah,
we have our morning drinks, so
yeah.
we're all good.
Yep, I have the same. Nice cup of tea. Can't go wrong.
Mm, absolutely.
So, I know that you've been interviewed on the station before, but I thought it'd be first of all good to just a little bit of background. What is Our Atlantic Roots?
Sure.
What's your style of music?
Good question. We would classify ourselves as indie folk. That's kind of our primary genre, I'd say. But we kind of dip into various other genres, a little bit of
Roots.
folk and country. Yeah, like rootsy music, Americana kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, we would definitely kind of say indie folk, I think,
Yeah.
the general term.
So we're a husband and wife duo. We've been together writing and releasing music since 2017. And we met in the States. We met in Bible College in North Carolina in 2012. And we've been songwriting ever since we met. We started out leading worship together at church. And yeah, just started writing music and got married. And yeah, now we do this full time. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Crazy to say that.
excellent. I imagine you've been able to travel a fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the UK, we
Yeah.
haven't done a ton of traveling outside of the UK. We haven't done any kind of international music work aside from obviously when we lived in America. We traveled a lot in the States. We lived there together for well, it was around about a year or so, and we traveled all around the US, kind of the east coast of the US, going to different churches and leading worship and various things like that. And but since then, we've got to know the UK very well because we do tour around the UK a lot. And yeah, we've gone to Europe and things on holiday, but
Do you
hopefully we'll
have
get to tour Europe at some point.
Yeah, that would be ace. Have you got a favorite place where you've done a gig or favorite, spot or neck of the woods?
Ooh,
Hmm.
that is a hard question. To be completely honest, so we live in Cornwall and we get to play gigs down here in the most beautiful venues that are just like
Mhm.
absolutely unrivaled. Literally this past weekend, we did four gigs, just local little gigs. We do a lot of kind of free gigs around Cornwall, in some of the local bars and hotels and things like that. As well as obviously our ticketed shows further afield. But this weekend, we just literally had glorious weather and beautiful sea views, cliff tops, absolutely stunning. It's pretty hard to beat our home gigs, I would say, as far as location goes, like on the beach,
Yeah, we've
honestly.
played in some pretty beautiful churches. I think one of my favorites is actually a festival that we tend to do most years. We're not doing it this year actually, but there's a festival called Between the Trees in South Wales, which is really cool, and it's just like
In a
this
forest.
little yeah, it's like a super chilled out festival in a forest, and
It's
um,
beautiful.
it's right
Yeah.
by the
Sounds
beach
ace.
as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Excellent. So you've been to some amazing places and folk, indie, that's your style of music. What would be your like musical influences? What's bands that you enjoy listening to or you feel have influenced your style of music?
Hmm.
Well, I think that over the years, since like we've been influenced by lots of different bands and different genres, like
Yeah, definitely.
everything from, so we love, like I love orchestral film music. So I think that even so in our production, we often call our music cinematic indie folk, in the production because it's quite big, almost orchestral sounding. We haven't actually recorded with an entire orchestra yet. That would be cool. Um, but there's influences from that kind of thing. We both absolutely love rock music. We That's what we grew up listening to, especially in our teenage years. So some of the guitar work, some of Mac's fingerstyle guitar work, and some of the more complex things that he does come from the rock side of things, I would say, in some
Definitely.
ways.
And there's some more like kind of
Technical thing.
technical and like rhythmic style of guitar, kind of often in the background, that could go unnoticed, but I noticed that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
definitely inspired by some of the yeah, rockier music that we used to listen to.
Then,
That's
but I
cool.
would say like now, we spend our time listening to a lot of indie folk music. We listen to some, well, there's lots of different bands. So there's a band called the Paper Kites.
The
that we listen to.
OLS.
The Oh Hellos, they're an absolutely awesome band. Love the lyrics and they're like just their soundscapes and the music, the musical arrangements.
One of my
And
favorites at the moment is an independent artist in Australia called Lawson Hull. He's really good.
but okay, maybe some bands that people might
Yeah.
know. So I have always loved Switchfoot, the band Switchfoot,
Yeah,
which
I
I'm
like
sure
them.
you know Switchfoot.
Yeah.
Love them. They've always been my absolute favorite. I love the way they like. I've always taken influence actually from the way that they connect with their audience, and the way that they try to break down the barrier between the audience and the artist. And they're just very approachable and awesome people. So I've always kind of aspired to be like them, like behind the scenes, like on and off the stage kind of thing. I love that. I love what they do for their fans, but also the songwriting, John Foreman's lyric writing, I think has always really impacted me. I love the way that he writes hopeful lyrics and kind of touches on, he like delves into deep topics. I always think it would be very interesting to sit down and have a conversation with him. It's deep and he doesn't shy away from the difficulties in life as well. You know, life isn't all sunshine and roses. You know, there are difficulties, and you know, there's a that's an understatement. Difficulties in life, but he kind of touches on that in his songwriting in a really lovely, poetic, hope-filled way. So I've always been influenced by him.
Some great musical influences there, yeah. So last is it in April? You released a really cool song, "Joy in the Journey," and I've been listening to it. It's absolutely brilliant. Do you want to tell us a
Thank
little bit
you.
about that and some of the backstory behind it as well?
Yeah, this one's Max. He wrote this song, so take it away, Mac.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I got to my 30th birthday, and I was just kind of, I spent a moment just reflecting on all that I had kind of achieved so far in life. And but I was focusing a little too hard on the things that like where I expected to be at this point in my life, and kind of if I would have asked myself 10 years ago, when I turned 20, where do you see yourself when, you turn 30? I would have given a particular list of things, and some of them are kind of a little irrelevant probably now to me, but then there's some that I'm like, yeah, I really kind of wish that I was a little bit quote unquote further ahead in life, further along, and I wish I would have written more songs and had, an album and been a little bit, more international in our touring. And there's always more, isn't there? There's always like bigger dreams. And so I kind of got to this place and I was feeling a little bit down. And then I realized actually I'm focusing so hard on these things that I don't have that I'm missing the beauty that I actually do have, and the things that all the beauty that I didn't expect to have that I actually have now. And so I kind of wanted to flip it on its head a little bit, but still be honest and process those thoughts of like, yeah, sometimes it's, there is, unmet expectations sometimes in life, and that's okay because it still allows us to dream and there's still goals. But at the same time, don't get so lost in those that you miss the beauty that you have right here, right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. I know I can. I've not long since turned 21 and I'm not where I expected to be in life at all. But actually, where I am at in life is not bad. There's lots and lots of blessings around me, and I need to appreciate them and take joy in that journey that I'm on, which is going to be different from person to person. I could look at other people my age, and actually they're in different phases of life, or they seem further ahead, as you put it. But actually, there's a lot of blessings around me, and I need to focus on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think of like, there's a Bible verse in Philippians that says, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And I always overlooked that bit of like with thanksgiving, but that's like a key part of the ingredients, and then it says, and then, fix your thoughts on things that are beautiful and pure and lovely and righteous. And so it's like, okay, so I need to be grateful and think of all those beautiful things that I have in my life. And then it says, and then the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind as you live in Christ. So, like, it's that kind of process of just thinking.
Mindset change, really. It's kind of
well, this is it. It's learning how to shift your mind and to being grateful for what you have. And
while still dreaming, because
well,
dreaming
yeah,
is important and
vision.
goals and vision and all that kind of things. But
That's it.
obviously, that's also super important. But there's a balance with it all, and I think if thankfulness and joy in where you are isn't there, then yeah, I think kind of
Yeah.
seeking that out and prioritizing finding that joy again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a difference between being content and being complacent. I think being content is that ability to be grateful for what you have while keeping an eye on the future. And but then being complacent, I think, is more of a
Cruising.
yeah, just cruising on. Oh, this is all I've got, and this is all I have. I have no dreams or expectations because without vision, there's no motivation, is it? So, and there is a Bible verse as well, something about without vision, those who, yeah, for lack of vision, this people perish. And so, yeah, it's about holding life in that balance, and that's really what Joy in the Journey is all about.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant song. I'm really enjoying listening to it. So, what would be the takeaway that you'd want people to bring away from listening to that song? What would you want people to sort of go, that's what I need to be doing?
When the difficult times hit, they are not brick walls. They're just, with every mountain you climb, you get a little stronger. And I think that's the kind of point that I get to at the end of the song about like, life is intrinsically woven with thorns and beehives, but it's also got beautiful fruit along the way that you will absolutely love and enjoy. But it's the ones around us, our friends and family, that are going to be with us through that journey, that we can just enjoy life as it goes along, even though we're going to hit rough patches.
Excellent. Joy in the journey. So, what's next for Atlantic Roots? What have you got coming up? You got lots of gigs or plans, or your dreams, perhaps even?
Oh yeah. Well, that is a great question. We are recording a song this weekend, which we're very excited about. And that is going to be released towards the probably like middle end of autumn, which we're really, really excited about. We are going to be touring next year. We're looking at actually doing something a little bit. It's kind of different, kind of the same. We're going to be doing a tiny show tour. And basically we're looking to tour in small spaces, not like tiny spaces, like as in like we don't want to be like stuck in someone's wardrobe or something. We're looking to tour in little spaces where we get small intimate audiences together, because we've just realized over the years of doing lots of gigs that they are our absolute favorite. We love just kind of interacting with people really naturally at our gigs, so we're just looking to put together a show, tour all around the UK, looking for small spaces. So if you're listening to this and a cool venue that we could play at, we're looking at doing house shows and things like that as well. So yeah, just kind of a really relaxed tour.
September and October, we're going to the States. I'm going to go see my family. Haven't been home in 9 years to the States. Yeah, so my family are not best pleased. So I need to go see them.
Yeah, we're very
go see friends and family. And yeah, while we're over there, we're just gonna see some sights and take some pretty pictures for album covers and all that.
So, yeah. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
Really
but we're songwriting. We are definitely planning on writing an album. We're in the process of writing and putting together songs where they best fit. We kind of write and then see where the songs fit. So we've put together EPs up to now because we felt like songs, like we've had these collections of songs that have been like 4 or 5 tracks that have gone together really well, rather than like 12 tracks all in one kind of project. But we're definitely keeping that in mind, aren't we? Our first album. Yeah, to be honest, we do not know really what the future holds at the minute. We're figuring it out, but we're just doing a lot of songwriting and continuing to do as many gigs as we can, just connecting with people, sharing the songs that we've already written. Because even though some of those songs feel old to us, because they've been released for years now, things like our Little Bird EP, there's still lots and lots of people who've never heard those songs, and we meet people all the time who are listening to us for the very first time. So yeah, we're trying to just continue to connect with people.
Yeah,
really.
I think my next big goal. I think our next big goal will probably be like touring Europe. Really like to do some dates in Europe for sure.
Be cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Sounds like you've got some good plans, some good hopes for the future, but also just very chilled. I like that. Just seeing where the journey takes you, joy in the journey. It's absolutely
Well,
brilliant.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
it.
So thank you so much for joining us today to talk about your music, your style, the influence that you have, and also one of your most recent songs, which I have been thoroughly enjoying listening to. Very powerful message. Thank you so much, Mac and Laura.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us. We'll see you
Thanks for
again.
having us.